So to be convicted of a crime, the court must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you A, committed the crime, or not you, that a person committed the crime and also had the intent to commit the crime. So they did the act and they had the guilty mind to commit the crime. Those two aspects need to be proven in a court beyond a reasonable doubt. That is the standard of guilt. And everyone is considered innocent before being proven guilty. So the first part of that activity today is that you have to take the definition that is under mens rea and actus reus worksheet, and you have to put those definitions, these here, onto your coursework document. You'll need to do that because you need to have them. So here we are. Actus reus. So this one is a bit easier to remember because actus has the word act in it. So that is the physical act of committing the crime. That's the first component. Now if we look down where it says commission of an act. Commission of an act. So this is if someone actually means to do something. So here's an example of commission of an act. Louis and Jimmy are playing outside with a pellet gun Jimmy got for his 14th birthday. Jimmy is bored and decides to test the gun out on neighborhood animals. When a stray cat runs by, Jimmy shoots and injures it. So commission means that Jimmy committed the act. Committed the act. So he did this. And Louis saw him do it. He is a witness. So he got his pellet gun. He aimed it at the cat with the intent of shooting it and hurt the cat. That's commission of an act. He committed the act. The second one for an act is omission of an act. Omission. So in this case, Malcolm has always wanted a dog, so one day he goes to the Humane Society and gets one. At first, Malcolm takes good care of the dog, but when things get busy at work, he starts to neglect it. Eventually, the dog becomes sick and malnourished because Malcolm has stopped feeding it regularly. So by not feeding the dog, he made the dog sick. He made the dog sick. So he is not committing something. He's omitting. He's taking away the ability for that dog to be nourished, to be fed. Okay, next part. Listen very carefully. So mens rea. Mens, mind. So this is intent. Intent. This means that someone has planned to commit this act. So mens, mind, and intent. They mean to commit it. There are a few different levels to that. So the first one is intention, and that's where a person knows that they're going to do it and plans to do it. So in this case, Alice walks up to Michael and punches him in the face. Michael's nose is broken by Alice's punch. The act was deliberate. There was intent behind it. Everybody saw Alice walk right up to Michael and punch him. So they're witnesses that saw that she meant to do that. All right, the second one, willful blindness. A person knows of a possibility of something being illegal, but chooses not to ask questions or investigate the situation. Here's the example. Amanda and Kesha are walking down the street when they come across some DVD stalls. Kesha or Keisha notices the DVDs are a lot cheaper than in the store. She wonders if they might be illegal copies, but she decides that she'd rather not know and just buys 2 DVDs for $8 anyway. So she knew there was a possibility they might be illegal, but she did it anyways. She didn't ask anybody. She just went ahead and did it. So she was choosing not to know. She could have known. She could have asked someone, but she left that. The last one. Yeah, even if they're influenced by someone, even if they're coerced into doing it, they still have committed, or sorry, they're willfully blind toward it. Finally is criminal negligence. Criminal negligence. So Samantha runs a daycare center. She lets the children run all over the center, and several times children have fallen down the stairs. It never occurs to Samantha to buy a proper gate to keep the children away from the stairs. One day, little Lee falls down the stairs and is very seriously injured. So in that case, she chose over and over and over again to ignore the fact that a gate was needed for the stairs. Many children, over many months, have been injured because of that, and she chose not to buy a gate. So that is criminal negligence. So if none of these can be shown, this means that the person did not intend. They did not intend. So they did not meet the requirement of mens rea for it to be a crime. So there has to be the act, and there has to be the intent. The second